Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing relationship readings, and we're going to do them one reading for every of the Lunar New Year signs. So I have the Robin Wood Tarot, and I have some handmade runes. These are actually the first handmade runes that I made years ago. So they're a bit big, but anyway. So you know your sign. Be sure to check out your lunar year sign as well as your ascendant. I will put the timestamps in the descriptions, and I will see you there. Bye! Hello, Year of the Rat People. So, Year of the Rat People, I am going to start with a card from the Robin Wood Tarot, and we're going to see what this is for your relationship. So, King of Cups. So you are very much in command of emotions, intuition, creativity. You're very much sort of very comfortable with it, and you're very on top of it, and you're able to survey it, and it's all good. But it's like this: you're very emotionally intelligent. Let's use the modern term for it. So let's get some runes to clarify this. This is relationship reading. So in the relationship that you may have, and once again, this may not be, well, not once again, I haven't said it yet, this video. So this may be a romantic relationship, or it could be a friendship, or a work relationship, or family, or any kind of relationship. So this is what this reading is going to be about. We're going to see what that's going to be about as we go along. So your central issue here for this relationship reading is Fehu reversed. So Fehu is the rune of wealth and worth, and reversed, I'm going to read it a couple ways. First of all, there may be a sense of maybe you're sort of worried about your worth, your personal worth, but at the same time, you are either feeling very confident or else seeking confidence in the relationships or relationships that you have. So leading up to this, you've just actually ended a journey. So you might have just had a breakup. You might have just moved on from a relationship that you had, and you might be sort of feeling not as comfortable with your worth as before, but at the same time, you're feeling confident that you probably, like you may be feeling confident that you did the right thing. There is confidence there. Fehu reversed is confidence, but it's also maybe questioning a bit of your worth inwardly. So what is going to help you is look at what has come through. Like, look at the fruits of your labors first of all. So we have, this is Fehu reversed, the Rhino reversed. Rhino's a riding rune. It has to do with journey. It is reversed, and it's on the path line leading up. So it's the end of a journey, or it's basically a journey that has come to a close, and here you are now after it. Thinking about these things. So what is going to help you? We have Yura. Yura is the rune of the harvest and also time. So you are actually seeing, I'm going to read that one. I'm also going to read this one a couple of ways. You're seeing this as a new season that you're starting in your life, a new amount of time, like the chapter just ended, so you're starting a new chapter. At the same time, you are actually seeing things, the fruits of your labors coming through. And so this is going to help boost your confidence and help make you feel, yes, you are worthy, which you are. I could have told you that, but the runes are telling you that. So as you see coming through what you're, the work that you're putting into things, you're seeing the results. That's going to help you feel more confident. What isn't going to help you is there's this fear of the unknown. It's like a blank slate at this point, and that's kind of scary because, it's like the blank page thing. So that could drag you down if you let it. Just sort of like, what is going to happen? I'm so free at this point that I don't know what to do. Try not to let that drag you down. Bring yourself back up to, you are doing things and things are coming through. So, once again, this might not even be a whole relationship that drew to a close before this. You might be shifting into a new stage in a relationship. So whatever it is in this relationship, Raibo reversed is saying that something has ended. Maybe you're in something completely new. I am sort of leaning towards, for probably most of you, that this was the end of a relationship of some kind, or the turning, like the ending of a period of time where there was a relationship happening and you're moving forward. So yeah, if it starts to be worrying you that, you don't know what to do at this point. Just bring yourself back up to where you are doing what you know you are doing, and you are getting results. Things are coming through, and you are very emotionally intelligent. So that's totally going to help you as well. Your next step in this situation is we have Manas reversed. Manas is the rune of humanity and your part in it, sort of like your part in the song. And what it's saying is, this is not going to be a time where you're going to sort of take advice from other people. Other people are always ready to give you advice, but you're just going to basically say, thank you, and just go ahead and do your own thing, because you're the one who knows best. You're going to tune out the din of humanity, and you're going to tune into what you know you need, which, because you are very emotionally intelligent, is not going to be terribly difficult. It's sort of like a matter of course for you, because it seems like you are used to doing that. So you know that your way forward is going to be, okay, closing the door on the other people giving you advice, and just basically seeing what's right for you and making the decision of what's right for you. So that, Year of the Rat people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, Ox people. So, Ox people, we are going to start with a card from the Robin Wood Tarot. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. So your relationship reading, it's sort of like, it's kind of a little bit up in the air. It's kind of like you're spinning the wheel and seeing what comes up with it. So, I mean, again, this could be friends. This could be a relationship. This doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. This could be friendships. This could be dealing with family members. This could be just basically things like that. So it is going to be a one-on-one relationship that this is going to be about, but at the same time, you're sort of spinning the wheel. Now, there is a way I'm going to read this which might also apply, where you may be having a relationship with somebody who's really, like, every day you don't know what you're going to get. And that could be a bit difficult. So let's see what the runes have to add, because that'll solidify what this is pretty much going to be. Yeah, so I'm sort of leaning towards maybe my second read on that, because it looks like things are pretty chaotic. Year of the Ox people. So our central issue here is Nauthiz. Nauthiz is the rune of need. It's the two sticks that you use to rub together to make fire. You are in a state of where you need your needs tended, basically. You have needs that need to be tended. Things seem a bit up in the air. Things seem like a bit unpredictable and difficult to gauge. And what you've just come from, I'm going to read this two ways. So first of all, Nauthiz, your central issue, you're in a situation where you need to tend some needs. Leading up to this, we have Pertho reversed. Pertho is the rune of the lot box, and this has to do with surprises and fate, but it's reversed on the path line. So the two ways I'm going to read it are A, you've had a negative surprise recently in relation to this. Something has just happened that is just really it's thrown you for a loop. You've realized that this is something that's always been there, but you haven't been able to ignore it this time. It's something that's just like in your face. Surprise, not very nice. What this also means is that you've learned something about yourself that you didn't know before, something that was always there. So both of these lead you up until this point where you're like, right now, you're like, we need to tend some needs here. There are needs that I need to have tended here. What is going to help you is we have Gabo. So Gabo is all the readings I'm doing today are Gabo readings. So Gabo is the rune of the gift. The gift is always an exchange. This has to do with one-on-one relationships, but it also has to do with agreements, decisions, and goals. What is going to help you is really take the time in this case. Like, this is, even if it's like, I'm going to do this once and I'm never going to do this again, because if I can't work it out this time, that's it. So, but it's important to make that effort. So to do that, sit down, one-on-one, communicate as kindly and as exchangingly as possible with this one-on-one relationship, and just basically, let's make some plans, let's set some goals, let's set some rules, let's have some agreements here, because this is not helping me. This is not acceptable. We have, the negative surprise was really bad this time. I've learned something about myself because of it, but we need to do something to tend this need. What isn't going to help is you're afraid of the chaos. This is chaos. Like, we have Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm. It's like weather that you can't predict. And, there needs to be some, baseline as far as, some situation, ox people, where there's basically, you need to have some level of comfort in a relationship, or else it's not going to be a good relationship. There has to be, you don't want to have a relationship with somebody that you just want to get away from, or that you're always afraid is going to strike you with lightning. So, or hit you with hail. So that's what you're afraid of, and this could keep you from doing this necessary thing, because this will help. Even if it's, even if it means you go through this, and then you're like, okay, well, given that, I have to, make necessary moves. But it could be that it helps, and that it keeps you more or less on the top 3 here, or at least on the top 5. Not that this isn't going to happen, but that it's not going to be as unpredictable, kind of thing. Like, just, maybe gauge some like legend to be able to determine, get some education of each other. Anyway, if this starts to be dragging you down, it's like, you know what, I'm going to make this effort. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to explain that this is basically this effort. We're going to do this because I would like this to work, So, however this turns out, this is going to be your outcome. You're going to move forward on your journey. Whether or not you move forward on your journey with this relationship or not, that's what this is saying. It's the journey rune, Raido, and it's moving forward. So that, Ox people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, tiger people. So, tiger people, I'm going to start with a card from the Robin Wood Tarot, and you a Temperance. So there's a relationship going on with you right now where you really need to find some balance. Maybe you're in early stages of a romantic relationship and it's just crazy and you're just like, I always want to be at each other. Or maybe it's just basically trying to find balance within a relationship that you have, which is like a friend, family, work colleague, something like that. So let's get some runes down and see what we have as clarification. Okay. So your central issue for this is we have Yira. Yira is the rune of the harvest and also time. This is probably a relationship that's been going on for quite some time, and it's recently you've had an emergency with it. We have Nauthiz reversed. Nauthiz is always the rune of need. When it's reversed, it's always like drop everything, tend this. So you've had that recently, which has led you up to this point where, this has been going on for a long time. And here we are right now in the middle of it. You want to have some good out of this, and that's what the harvest is. Like, the harvest is the focus on the harvest. Like, what good am I getting from this? This emergency has brought this to my attention. What is going to help you? So we have Ivaz. Ivaz is the rune of patience and slow growth and slow development. So there is kind of going to be like a step-by-step. I'm getting the word rebuilding from what happened here. Whether this is, this could be something that was, a critical moment, or this is just something that was an emergency where you had to step in and be a good friend, things like that. But it's going to take some patience. What is going to help you is just being patient, being patient. Patience, slow growth, slow development. What isn't going to help is you're worried about happiness, because, you can't just be a fair weather friend. If you're somebody's friend and you really genuinely care about them, you're going to be with them through thick and thin. Now, obviously not if it's going to be an abusive relationship, and I hope that's not the case, but I'm thinking that's not what the case is. I'm thinking this might be, the Temperance card is here probably because you're in a situation where, you're trying to find a balance. So if something terrible happened and you're trying to, patiently be patient with this person, you need to give yourself some time as well. So it's going to be a matter of finding balance, but also being patient. You're worried about your happiness. That's all. What's going to help you with that is being patient and also finding the balance. And what this is going to lead you to is we have Pertho. Pertho is the rune of the lot box. It has to do with surprises and fate. It's basically surprises, but it's something that was always there because it's a lot box. What was inside the box was always there. So all of this is going to give you like a gift at the end of it. It's basically you're going to have. You're going to cash out at the end of it. It's going to be worth it. Ultimately, it's going to be worth it. It's going to surprise you, but it's going to be good. It's going to be like, yeah, okay, this relationship stood this, and it was because I was patient, and it was because I found that balance between helping this friend or, the other person in the relationship and making sure that I'm staying happy and being okay. And that, Tiger people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, Hare people. So, Hare people, let's start with a card from the Robin Wood Tarot. Let's get that down. 5 of Wands. So, you're having a bit of a conflict of wills with this relationship at the moment. Both people think they're right, and both people want to express their will. It's the thing about the 5 of Wands is these can be aligned. There's a way that this can be aligned, but right now it seems to be at odds. But it can be aligned. So let's see what the runes have to say to clarify this. But right now, unfortunately, the relationship that we're reading about, Hare people, is sort of in a bit of conflict. Blank rune. Okay. So it looks like things actually were going on pretty well. Like, just sort of, there wasn't any problem before, but now you're like butting heads. So, okay, good. So your central issue here, we have Pertho reverse. So Pertho is the rune of the lot box. It has to do with surprises and fate. But the surprises that it has to do with are surprises that were always there. So it looks like there's been a negative surprise, which is this conflict, obviously. And you're realizing that the person that you've been dealing with, you didn't realize this about them, and it was always there. And also it's helping you learn something about yourself right now. You're learning something that you maybe didn't know about yourself, but that was also always there. Leading up to this, as I said, it's been a period of time with this individual where there's not been any problems. It's just been smooth sailing. It's been pretty clear, like everything's been pretty clear. It's not been really, one way or the other, you've been able to sort of float through the mist with this person. However, this has come up, and you've learned things about yourself, and you've learned something about the other person that has surprised you, but in a negative way, and now there's some conflict. What is going to help you? So I'm going to read this a couple ways. There's always ways to read these things, more than one. So we have Avaz. Avaz is the rune of the horse. The horse has to do with movement and also spirit. So first of all, keep moving forward. You've done really well so far. You're good friends. You're invested. You care about each other. Your relationship has some history. It's good. This is just a thing where you can probably realign, but you do have to do a little bit of work for it. Just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward with this. Try to find a way to align. What also will help you on a personal level is spirit. So whatever spirituality is for you, that's what you're going to want to tap into, which is going to help you try to find a way, try to see the other, try to see the other points, try to find a way to harmonize the other direction of will that's going on here. What isn't going to help is that this feels like chaos. We have Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm. This has to do with the uncontrolled uncontrollables. This has to do with, chaos, basically. It's natural forces, natural energies, like weather. So it can drag you down if you're just like, yeah, but this is crazy. This I was going on like this and this happened. It's like, man, I just can't even. But you can. You can deal with it. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to align, but you're going to give this every chance. And so, again, what's going to help is keep moving forward. Try not to let the fears of the storm hold you back. Just keep moving forward. But also, on your part, connect with whatever your version of spirit is, because that's going to help you. And what this is going to lead to is a new beginning. We have Berkana, which is the rune of beginnings and birth. It's the birch tree. And this is basically, it's upright, it's on the path. So it's almost like you're going to be starting fresh with this person after you have a moment just to let this sort of simmer and like just cool and simmer down, and maybe you can actually align and maybe you can't, but either way you're going to be starting over, not starting over, but starting fresh, like having a fresh beginning with this person now that you both know these things about each other that you didn't know before. So that, Hare people, is your relationship reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, dragon people. So dragon people, let's start with a card from the Robin Wood Tarot. And we have the Page of Swords. You're setting forth with great energy and creativity and with good ideas, and you're setting forward into this relationship, and probably with the other person, just like forward. It's like a fresh relationship. It's new, and everything is bright and sunny, and you have lots of energy for it. So it's all good. Your feet are winged. It's all you got your fat wings on. Let's see what we have. Very joy, lovely. So let's see what the runes have to say. You made an agreement. It's joy and it's following the spirit. This is beautiful. Isn't going to help. What isn't going to help you? Oh, okay, fear of the unknown. And okay. Okay, so your central issue here, dragon people, is joy. You're basically in a state of great joy. You have great ideas. You have lots of energy moving forward. You're almost flying. It's all good. Things are good right now in this relationship. What led up to this is, so this is Gabo. Gabo is the rune of the gift. The gift is always an exchange. It's also about one-on-one relationships. It also has to do with agreements, decisions, and goals. So it's sort of like either you have formed this relationship at this point, like this is something that has formed, and so you're moving forward with that, or you have had a moment in this relationship where you've sort of re-solidified it. It's been like I'm not going to say like not necessarily retaking vows, but it's sort of like retaking vows. It's like you've sort of convened. You've set new goals, you've made new decisions, had new agreements, and you're just like, all right, we're ready to go. We're good to go forward. And now things are just joyous. It's like joy. What is going to help you is we have Avaz. This is interesting because we just had this one in exactly the same spot. Avaz is the rune of the horse. The horse has to do with movement and spirit. So number one, keep moving forward. You're coming from a good place. You're in a good place now. Keep moving forward. The horse is like movement, so keep galloping. It also means whatever spirit is for you, connect to that. This is something that's going to help you. So whatever spirituality is for you, whatever spirit is, connect to that, follow that, let that carry you. That's going to help you. I mean, it's like you need help because you're already happy. What isn't going to help is fear of the unknown. There was a lot, you never know. And I get the sense that a lot of what led up to this moment where you reconvened and sort of re-established things may have been a bit, there may have been some things that knocked things off kilter. So you're sort of worried about that. You don't know what you don't know, and it's just, anything could come out of the mist and sort of topple things. You're worried about that. So just keep moving forward, keep your connection to whatever you consider to be spirit, and you're going to go forward. The outcome here is we have Berkana reversed. I'm going to read this as the end of a beginning. I wouldn't say you're not beginning anything. It's just basically, it's the end of a beginning. Like maybe the beginning of the relationship was here and it led up until this point where you had to reconvene and say, okay, we have to set some rules and have some goals and have some agreements here. And now things are really, really happy. So letting things carry you forward, you actually pass a threshold where you can stop thinking of this as this is this new thing and start thinking of it as this is an established thing. I've internalized this. This is something that is internally a part of my identity that is natural and moving forward. So that, dragon people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, snake people. So snake people, we're going to start with a card from the Robin Wood Tarot. And there we are, Four of Swords. So as far as a relationship goes, it's like you're having a bit of a break. You're just having, not like a break of like break, but you're taking a bit of a time out. You're having a rest. You're having a bit of a rest at this point. Let's get some runes down and see if they clarify. Yes. They not only clarify, but agree. So you're having a bit of a break. There's the blank rune again. That blank rune's shown up quite a lot today. Okay, interesting. So your central issue here, we have Ivaz. Ivaz is the rune of the yew tree. It has to do with patience and slow growth and slow development. So it looks like, it looks like this, basically. You're basically taking a moment to take a slower pace and just sort of take things step by step. Leading up to this, we have Gabo. Gabo's the rune of the gift. It always has to do with an exchange. All of these readings are Gabo readings because Gabo also has to do with one-on-one relationships, and this is basically a relationship reading. So there was a relationship that was either established or has, happened, or maybe this is agreements, decisions, and goals in relation to it. Like maybe you had to sort of reconvene and make some agreements, make some decisions, and now you're in a state of, okay, I'm going to take this one step at a time. I'm not going to really drive myself really hard on this. I'm just going to I'm taking a break, I'm taking a rest, and I'm going to take this sort of one day at a time. What is going to help you is we have Berkana. Berkana is the rune of birth and beginnings. It's the birch tree, so it has to do with birth, beginnings, new yin identity. So this is sort of your organic identity that is growing up, and it's basically, this is what's going to help. Is like it is a beginning. You're in a beginning stage, and you're sort of like, even if this is an established thing and you're just moving on from fresh agreements, this is basically, you're in a new beginning stage. So there is a brightness to that. There is a sense of, there's the star in the picture. So there is a brightness to that. And you're just basically right now, you're taking this one step at a time. What isn't going to help is we have the blank rune, which is, fear of the unknown. You don't know what could come out of the mist at you. So that could drag you down. Try not to let that happen. Just sort of ride on the star beams of this newness and of the beginning that's happening. Or maybe starting something is going to be your new beginning. Maybe this had to do with, an agreement that sort of has given you a rest. You're like taking a rest at this point. Not everybody. This is a relationship reading, so it's general. But anyway, new beginning is going to carry you forward step by step. And what this is going to lead you to is a greater sense of what gives you joy deeply inwardly. We have Vunyo, which is the rune of joy. I am going to read this a couple ways. So first of all, you're going to have a greater sense of where you're not happy. First of all, where you're not contented is going to become clear, and you'll be able to see it clearly and go, okay, I've done this step by step, and I can actually see very clearly what needs to be dealt with as far as where I'm not happy. At the same time, it's any positive rune that's reversed and it's on the path line will always also mean inner. And so this is inner joy. You're taking your time through this so that you can establish a foundation of deep inner joy. So this is stuff that you can't easily take away. This is something where you are finding your joy within and you're building on that. And so that's why when you encounter something where you're discontented, it's very clear at this point and you can address it very specifically. But at the same time, this is about finding your inner joy, because no matter how wonderful the other person is, if you are not able to access what your joy is inside snake people, you're still not going to be content because it's you. But anyway, I think you're doing good. You're going to have a much better finger on the pulse of your inner joy by the end of this. So that, snake people, is your relationship reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, horse people. So horse people, we are going to start with a card from the Robin Wood Tarot, and it's the moon. The moon. So right now in your relationship that this is about, things are not what they seem. You get the sense that you can't fully trust things at face value. There's things that are sort of moving in and out of shadow. You're not sure what you're dealing with. So I'm not sure if I heard the cat coming up behind me. Anyway, so it's sort of still, there's some mystery elements. You're just you're trying to see this clearly. So let's get some runes down and see what we get for that. Yes, of course. Yes. It is the cat. Hi, sweetie. That was a very specific meow. That was a very distinct meow. I don't know the specifics of it. So your central issue here, horse people, is we have Nauthiz. Nauthiz is the rune of need. It's the need fire. It's the two sticks that you rub together to make fire. You are needing to tend your needs at this point. You need to basically solidify getting your needs tended at this point. So leading up to this, there's been a sense of chaos. Again, this is like, the card sort of shows some of that, as far as you're not sure. It's like weather. It's like, some days it's sunny, some days it's suddenly will snow, suddenly there will be hail, and it's sort of like chaos. It's uncontrolled. It's out of your control. It's natural forces, natural energies, and it's unpredictable. So you are in a situation where you want to get your needs tended. You're basically like, I need to get into the rigging and make sure that it's all firm. So what is going to help you is just to be open. We have the blank runes. So I'm going to read this a couple ways. It's about being open and trying to see what there is, like really just sort of, the moon is about things aren't really very clear, like things are shifting in and out of shadow. So you're going to want to be open and see all the things that you're being shown. And, unjudgingly to begin with, just basically just look at all of what you're being shown, because it's all being shown to you. It's just, you have to integrate it. You're in a situation where you're needing to integrate that. And that's going to help you as you try to get your needs in order. What isn't going to help you is, it's like you had your heart set on this relationship to be a certain way. This is Gabo, it's the rune of the gift. All of these readings are Gabo readings. So it's like, it's all about, it's not that this rune has shown up in all of them, but all of the readings are about one-on-one relationships. They're all about agreements, decisions, and goals, and exchanges. It's all about exchange. So what isn't helping you in this case is you had this idea of what this relationship was going to be, and you're having a hard time accepting the things that it actually is, because there's more than just what you wanted it to be, and sometimes what it is actually contradicts what you wanted it to be. So if you're trying to cling to this because you want it to be what you wanted it to be, and it's not that, that's going to drag you down. That's going to sort of, hi sweetie, that's going to sort of slow your progress. So the important thing is just to be open. What's going to help you is just to be open, get a good overview of what is actually being shown to you, so you can get a truer, more accurate vision of what you're actually dealing with. And your next step is, I'm going to read this a couple ways because it's going to apply differently. We have Raitho reversed. Raitho is the rune of the journey. Reversed on the path line, it's either the end of a journey. Well, it's always the end of a journey to a certain extent. So it's the end of a journey. It's not necessarily the end of a relationship, but it may be the end of a relationship. But it also may be the end of a chapter of this relationship, where maybe you were sort of doing this first part of the relationship in a state of illusion or self-delusion, and now you have a greater sense of what it really is, like the true nature of it, and you can move forward with that and be very whole in it. It could also be, once you've seen the whole picture, the drawing to a close of a relationship. Again, this is not necessarily a romantic relationship. This could be a friendship. This could be a work relationship. This could be a family member. It's any one-on-one relationship. So it could be something like that. So it could also be taking your outer journey and turning it inward, but I don't see that quite so much as, can you hear the cat crunching her food? She's like right next to me. Usually she's asleep at this time. Anyway, so basically that's the situation. However you work this out, you're going to be drawing to a close either the beginning part of this relationship, which was sort of in mystery and shadow, or you're going to be sort of drawing to a close what you thought you had. So that, horse people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, sheep people. Okay, sheep people, we're going to start with a card from the Robin Wood Tarot, and we have the Knight of Swords. So you are setting out. You have good ideas. You have good energy. You are hoping to just set out your winged horsey. And so let's see in this relationship what the runes have to add. Okay, great. Burst forth. Awesome. And you're very strong about it. And you have a good idea of what you want. This is very exciting, sheep people. So sheep people, in your relationship, you've just basically had a major revelation, first of all. This is Dagaz. The central issue is Dagaz, the rune of the breaking of the day. Things have been illuminated. Your entire field of vision has been lit up. You can see everything very, very clearly. You couldn't before. And this is because leading up to this, we have Kaunaz reversed. Kaunaz is the rune of the fire, so it's something that starts small like an ember and goes into a blaze. It is reversed on the path line, which means a honing of focus. So you've recently just really honed your focus on this, and because you did that, everything is lit up around you. You can see more clearly now than you ever could before, like you got on a big winged horsey and are seeing it from above, and now you're happy and you can drive forward with a clear vision and lightning in your sword. So it's great. In this relationship, you're just riding forward on your winged spirit. What is going to help you is we have Uruz. So Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health, also with groundedness and stubbornness. So you're very strong and you know what you want, and you're just basically, it's like will. So you're basically you're very strong. So what you are seeing, this is great. You're up to the task, and so you're able to ride forward into this, seeing more clearly than you ever could before. What is not going to help is we have Ivaz. Ivaz is the rune of the yew tree, and the yew tree has to do with patience, slow growth, and slow development. This is not something that you want at this point. You have lots of energy. You want to rush forward. You want to do things, and you want to just use this energy that you now have to just move forward, to create and just make the world, and see things, make the world wonderful and see things, and direct your energy and your lightning. So you don't want to be held back by patience and slow growth and slow development, but this is still something that it's a long road, even though you're in the sky. So if that starts to be the case, bring yourself back up. You know what you want. You're strong. You're healthy. And the cat is playing with her paper. and that's what's going to help you. And what this is going to lead you to is we have Raidho. Raidho is the rune of the journey. It's like you're starting a whole new journey after this point. It's like this burst forth of energy, and you're flying, and now you sort of, after this, once you've established, yes, you know what, I am very strong, and I'm not worried about how long this road is. I'm just going to press onward because I know what I want and things are good. This becomes a journey. You settle into a forward journey with this energy and with this illumination. So that, sheep people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, monkey people. So monkey people, let's start with a card from the Robin Wood Tarot, and we have the Magician. So where you're at right now, monkey people, as far as relationships go, is that you have already seen it all, and you have a lot of experience. You have experience in every aspect at this point, and so you are very, very confident and very comfortable with dealing with all kinds of different aspects of relationships. You are very grounded, you're very centered, you have connections above and below, and all the elements. So you're very, very good in this case, and that's very much in keeping with the monkey personality in general at monkey's best. Monkey is the people's people. So let's see what we have in the runes. Very good. So as far as relationships go, you're going to be very confident in your relationships. So your central issue right now, monkey people, is Raidho. Raidho's the rune of the journey. So you're seeing really everything is all steps on a journey. You're moving forward on your life's journey. Leading up to this, so this is Kaunaz. Kaunaz is the rune of the torch. It's the fire. It's something that starts small like an ember and turns into a blaze. It is reversed on the path line. So this is sort of a honing of focus. And you're really focusing on your life's journey. You have all the tools that you need. You're just basically like, I'm just going to focus on my journey and what I want to do and what I need here. What is going to help you is we have Fehu. Fehu is the rune of wealth and worth, but it's cattle. So it's not just basically money. It's the wealth that you tend. It's the things in your life that you tend that you have to take care of. But when they are taken care of, they give you a sense of worth. They give you a sense of richness in your life. So that's what's going to help you here, is just this sense of just, even if money isn't involved, of a rich life and of a worthy life. And this is just, if anything happens where you're like, but you just remind yourself, you know what, my life is rich, my life is worthy, and I am worthy of it. What isn't going to help is we have Ingvaz. Ingvaz is Ing's rune. Ing is another name for Frey. Frey is the fertility god. And this has to do with, I'm actually going to read this a couple ways. This has to do with active creation most of the time. This has to do with trying to shape things into what they maybe aren't. So in the lower line, it has to do with that. So you beware of trying to control things that are out of your control, kind of thing. Like, you may feel like you're very confident and your life is very much, you have all the tools that you need, you feel very experienced, and you really have a good connection on things. But there are things that even things that are out of your control even for you. So you may be tempted to try to force everything to be in the shape that you want it to be, and you just can't, because control things until you can't. So there's that. Control what you can. The other thing is, this is Ing, and Ing is Frey, and Frey is a fertility god. There may be temptation to sort of latch onto a relationship for that reason. That's not going to help you. But mostly I'm seeing this as, you're very confident for you, but you may get dragged down by trying to control things that aren't in your control. So if that starts to be the case, just bring yourself back up to, my life is rich, I am worthy of it, my life is of great worth, and I am of great worth, and I don't have to worry about things on this journey. I'm actually pretty confident. So what this will lead you to is a greater groundedness as you move forward. I mean, you're already pretty grounded, but this great strength and health and really solid direction. We have urus. Maybe you won't even feel like you need to run around as much either. Like, you may feel fairly solid and fairly grounded, and in a good way. So this is urus, which is the wild ox. It's the aurochs. So it has to do with strength and health. Sometimes stubbornness, but it's just basically solid, grounded, solar, good stuff. So there we go. So, Mungi people, that is your relationship reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, Rooster people. So, Rooster people, let us start with a card from the Robin Wood Tarot, and we have the Page of Pentacles. So you're actually... So this is a relationship reading, so I'm not going to read this just basically as a general reading of, you're starting a new endeavor that begins with, that has to do with possibly getting money. You might be, but as this is a relationship reading, I am actually seeing this as you're starting a new direction where you're going to be very much more practical focused. You're focused more on the practicality of things. You're focused more on groundedness and nourishment and the things that make life worth living, basically. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out the runes. And again, this is not necessarily... There's Rytho again. Cool. Rytho's made a lot of appearances. This is not necessarily a rune about romantic relationship. This could be a relationship with a friend, family member, work colleague, anywhere where you have a one-on-one relationship. That's what these are going to be about. And we have a Gabo, so the whole thing is Gabo. Anyway, your central issue here is your journey. So you're focused very much on your life's journey, and you want to start something new at this point that has to do with maybe finances, but also just basically practicality, getting things very grounded and with nourishment coming through, and just the good things, and you're sort of working on something new that has to do with that. Leading up to this, you've actually this is Berkana. Berkana is the rune of the birch tree. It has to do with beginnings and birth. It is reversed and it's on the path line. So one of the ways so first of all, it's birth and beginnings, and it's reversed. So there may have been something that you began that you had to stop. Like maybe you had to sort of back burner a beginning that you were going to be doing. Maybe there is a beginning that you are doing internally. Maybe this is an internal beginning that you are starting. Or maybe you have reached the end of a beginning. Maybe there's a relationship you were in and this was all the beginning here, and you have now reached the point where you can actually draw to a close the beginning phase of it, and now you're moving forward into the journey phase of it, which I like. So here you are on the journey. You're really focused on your life's journey right now, and you're settling into it. What is going to help is we have Gabo. Now Gabo, as I said, all of these readings are Gabo readings. They all have to do with one-on-one relationships. They all have to do with agreements, decisions, and goals, and they all have to do with what is an exchange. A gift for the ancient Norse was always an exchange. You never gave a gift without getting something back. So it's very transactional. That's unfortunate. But anyway, it's kind of neat as far as reading. So anyway, what is going to help you on this is to make sure that the one-on-one relationship that's involved with this, that you are in communication, that you are in harmony, that you are getting together, having these exchanges, like probably just verbal, just like to keep the communication going, and also just reaching agreements, making decisions and setting goals, and making plans. So that's what's going to help you the most on this endeavor. What isn't going to help is it's overwhelming. Like you're at the beginning of this, so it's like it's sort of overwhelming when you think of it as how am I going to do this? How am I going to take each step to do this? But you don't have to do that. That could drag you down if you think about it. But you are not alone in this. You have this other relationship that you're working with. So if that starts to drag you down, bring yourself back up, touch in with the other person in this relationship, and just make those agreements, set those goals, make those decisions. All good. Moving forward, you are going to be very aware of the needs that need to be tended, especially after this conversation. So your next step is going to be tending these needs, making sure that the farm is running smoothly. Make sure that the fences are all secure and the plants are watered and all is good. And that's where you're sort of going to move forward to on this journey. It's going to be like a maintenance game where you're going to be it's like every day I'm going to water the corn, feed the sheeps. So anyway, it's all good. You're starting on this new journey. You're spreading forward into this. It's spreading out before you, and with this relationship with whom you are setting your goals, you're just going to move forward and just have this going on where you're going to be tending the needs that need to be tended. And that, Rooster people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, dog people. I'm a dog people. So here's our card from the Robin Wood Tarot. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So we are setting out, dog people, you are setting out in a relationship, but it's more of this is something that has to do with somebody who's setting out with energy in regards to something that has to do with possibly finances, but mostly just basically practical things that will keep you nourished, things that will keep you secure and grounded and fed and all that good stuff. So we're sort of setting out on that at this point. Let's get some runes down, and because this has to do with the relationship. So it's a relationship that has to do with security, hopefully not just to do with money, but who knows? There's Gabo. These are all Gabo readings, and Gabo has shown up dutifully in almost all of these readings, which is very exciting. So your central issue is we have Dagas. Dagas is the rune of the breaking of the day. It has to do with revelations and enlightenment and illumination, where your entire field of vision is illuminated. You can see very clearly, and this is like this burst of energy where you're starting forth to do this. You have lots of energy to ride forth and do that. Sow those fields. And what has led up to this is we have energy. So the sun creates the dawn. We have tapped into what has turned out to be source energy, something that nourishes us. This is going to differ for all of you, but it is what it is in the world, that when you tap into it, it nourishes you. It actually gives you energy. It energizes you rather than drains you. And it's good. So you sort of you figured that out, and you've tapped into that. And now you have a surplus of energy, and you want to ride forward and just make your life as comfortable as possible. So what is going to help you is we have Gabo. Gabo's the rune of the gift, and it has to do with an exchange. It always has to do with an exchange, and it does have to do with one-on-one relationships, especially in this reading. And with this one-on-one relationship, what is going to help you in this situation where you have lots of energy to move forward with this quest is, make agreements, make decisions, and set goals, and have plans. So have this conversation with the other person in this relationship. Set your goals, make agreements, all the good stuff. Like, have that conversation. Be in touch with that. Be in harmony. What isn't going to help is you may worry about discontentedness. We have Vunyo reversed. Vunyo is the rune of the joy. It is reversed on the lowest line. So you're worried about being discontented. You're worried about, because quests aren't easy, they all look very romantic, but when you get into the nitty gritty of them, you're sleeping on the ground and eating like a lizard. So, not necessarily. You're on the quest for comfort, so hopefully you're building on that. But the nitty gritty of moving forward on a quest, even one as good as this, is you may be worried about feeling discontented. If that starts to drag you down, if these worries are starting to drag you down, or if you actually are feeling discontented at any point, bring yourself back up to this, where you are touching in with this other person in your relationship. You're making sure that you keep those exchanges going, you keep the harmony happening, and you keep that communication open, because that's what's going to be the key to carrying you through all of this. And what this is going to lead you to is you are going to be very aware of when you need to drop everything and fix something. And that's really you have to catch it as soon as it happens, as soon as an emergency rises up. Don't let it sit. It's really important. Just basically, if an emergency comes up, and this is Nauthiz. Nauthiz is the rune of need. It's always the rune of tending your needs. But when it's reversed like it is here, this is drop everything and deal with this. So the more in tune you are with the other person in this relationship, the more you will be immediately aware, and also your vision is clear because you've been energized, so you're able to see this very clearly. As soon as you see an emergency, even if you're the first one to see it of the two of you, drop everything and deal with it, because that's the best way to move forward. You won't be able to move forward until you do. So that, dog people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, pig people. So, pig people, this is your relationship reading. I am going to pull a card from the Robin Wood deck, and you have the Eight of Swords. So, right now in your relationship things aren't entirely clear. You kind of feel a little bit in danger, just in terms of, it's not necessarily like physical danger. It could be just like those little cuts, but you're kind of worried about that. You don't really know where they're at around you, and you kind of feel like, you know that there's light and illumination somewhere, but you feel like you have been nicked a number of times and you don't know when these are going to come up. So this could be, again, this doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship that you're dealing with this. This could be a friendship. This could be a work relationship. This could be a family member. But there is a one-on-one relationship in your life where you feel like this, where you feel like you're a bit stuck there and you can't really see what you want to see about it, and you keep getting nicked. So that's not very good, but let's see if the runes can offer anything that will help you in this situation. So, Year of the Pig People. So you've actually had a revelation recently. Yeah, and you've worked really hard on this relationship, so. Okay. So, your central issue is we have Dagaz. Dagaz is the rune of the breaking of the day. As I said, this basically speaks to a realization, like a revelation, enlightenment, things are illuminated. So you've sort of wanted things to be illuminated, and this is like the illumination coming through, but you've had a revelation about this. You worked really hard on this relationship. Like, this is Ingvaz. Ingvaz is the rune of Ing. Ing is the fertility god, otherwise known as Frey. And this has to do with active creation. So you've done a lot of shaping of things that really, some of it wasn't even in your control, and you have just grabbed it and shaped it, or tried to. So leading up to that, that's what you were doing up until this point, but you've just had a realization about it, and maybe this is your realization that, like, no matter what I do, I'm in the dark, and I never know when I'm going to get nicked. I never know when I'm going to get one of those tiny cuts, and this is not fun, and I don't know where I stand. So we need to address this. So what is going to help you the most? We have Vunyo reversed. Acknowledging that you're not happy. We have Vunyo is the rune of joy. It is reversed and it's on the helping line. So you basically you weren't even acknowledging that you're unhappy in this relationship up until this point. You've sort of like just rolled with it and just tried to keep shaping it and try to keep making things, sometimes trying to make things into what they are not. But you worked really, really hard on this, but now you're like, wait a minute, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. I'm surrounded by swords. I'm blindfolded. My hands are tied, and I can feel them, and I don't know where they are or when they're going to hit me. So, I mean, this is not necessarily a physical abuse situation. This could be just somebody who occasionally takes pot shots at you. It could be, and again, it's not necessarily romantic. Could be friend, family member, coworker, but just you sort of were not. You weren't allowing yourself to see that you weren't happy, and what's going to help you at this point is basically embracing the fact that no, I'm not happy with this relationship right now. I'm not pleased with what's happening, and I don't like to be in this situation. As well, what's going to help you is reaching deep and going, what do I want? What will make me happy in this relationship? So what isn't going to help you? We have Bracana. Bracana is the rune of the birch tree, and it has to do with birth and beginnings. It's a very positive rune. It's in the negative spot, and that usually means fears about that thing. You're sort of worried about beginning again. It's like you've invested a lot in this, and you don't want to have to start over elsewhere. At the same time, you're worried about the beginning of, hey, wait a minute, and realizing and sort of picking up and starting to move on from this, because you don't want this to be the case. So you need to be very open with it. So if this drags you down and if this sort of keeps you tied up, bring yourself back up to where you go, you know what, I'm not happy, and I know what my happiness will feel like. I know what I need, where my joy lies. I know what I feel like when I feel joyful, and this is not it. That's going to help carry you forward through this realization. And what this is going to lead you to is we have Uruz reversed. Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health, and also sometimes stubbornness, but this is reversed on the path line. So this has to do with inner strength, focusing on your inner health, and also just letting go of the ground where you'd been dug in. Like the ox, when it's upright, has to do with digging in and being extremely solid. Like, think about we don't have aurochs anymore, but think about the muskox. The muskox, they dig in, and they're just like these immovable objects when they sort of do that circle thing around the babies. Just basically, they're just, you can't move them. But it's reversed and it's on the path line. It's like, it's just basically stepped back and gone, okay, you know what? I'm out. I'm stepping out of this. I'm not planted here anymore. I'm lifting up my hooves, and I'm just releasing this. I'm releasing this grounding that I had. I am strong inwardly. I'm inherently strong, and I have to look to my inner health. And that's what your focus is going to be. You're going to acknowledge that things are not as good as you want them to be with this particular relationship, this one-on-one that you're dealing with. It could be one of many one-on-ones that you have in your life, friend, family, coworker, romantic relationship, any of that. But there is one of them where you're in this situation, and you just really need to acknowledge and deal with that, and remember how strong you are. Remember how strong you are inwardly, and that you can do that. So that, pig people, is your reading. Good luck with that, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.